The Amazing Race is back. We just had the premiere episode. We thought it was in 2 parts, but it's actually just like 1 2-hour long premiere, basically. So, Scotty, let's get into it. Phil's back.
11 new teams.
Yes.
And
Diverse.
I really, oh yeah, pretty diverse. I don't dislike any of them so far.
No. One's like, I'm like hating on off the jump. No.
Yeah, obviously some people were a little struggling, I'll say, communication wise. However, we're just gonna go through all the teams real quick. We have Caro and Ray, who are a couple. We have Connie and Sam, who are a couple. Kim and Penn, who, you guessed it, are a couple.
Ding, ding, ding.
Lulu and Lala, who are 2 twin radio hosts. Michael and Mo, who are 2 police officer friends. Raquel and Kayla, who are both flight attendants. Ryan and Dusty, who are childhood friends. Arun and Natalia, who are a father and daughter. Anthony and Spencer, who are also friends. Akbar and Sherry, who are a married couple. And then Taylor and Isaiah, who are a married gay couple. So
we got some groups, some good little groupies.
As always, you have to have the 2 girl teams. You have to have the best friend team. Of course, all the married couples.
The newly dating people.
Yeah. So one thing I will say just off the bat is I love having a Black gay couple on Amazing Race because we've had gay couples. I don't necessarily think Black gay people get as much representation as they should.
I don't think they do. I can't say for the Amazing Race and certain shows that I haven't watched enough that they've had it, but like overall in general of TV, like it's not as common. No,
so that is pretty cool. I think it's just a good group of people so far. I like all their different relationships, their different backstories. Just some of the standout ones. Ryan and Dusty are friends because Ryan, I believe, you can correct me, Ryan was charged with a murder he didn't commit and was in prison for 10 years.
I think so. I think that's the one.
Before he ended up getting out, and then he now
was
wrongfully convicted.
Out of your life and you didn't do anything. I can't imagine.
Yeah. Another standout, Anthony and Spencer, who, when they were talking about it, I remembered the story from a few years ago of a terrorist who was on a train and they ended up stopping him.
Ew. I remember this story. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, that sounds vaguely familiar. I will just say it was kind of surprising for them to be like, oh, here's like some flight attendants. Oh, here's like some radio hosts. And then all of a sudden it's like these people who have stopped a terrorist on a train, this person who was wrongfully convicted of a murder for 10 years. It was just like,
y'all took it intense and deep.
It got real intense real quick.
Hard. Like I didn't know these were the type of people that wanted to be on The Amazing Race. That's all I'm saying. I didn't know.
And then also Akbar and Sherry, who I believe they are part of the West Side School. And that was famous because Oprah ended up going there and donating a bunch of money. I forgot how much it was.
We're not going to talk Oprah next.
But then they also started running a program called like the Lights On program, I think. It was just providing a space for like the people in like the area to go to like the school and like do activities, eat food, stuff like that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that is.
I think those are the main, just stand off the top of my head. No disrespect to any of the other teams, but
no, got more airtime and what like caught my attention in the first episode.
Yeah, and then also Kim and Penn, I guess I could throw in there because
they make home videos with their kids.
Yeah,
and they're like older married couple.
And I love their chemistry so far.
I do too. They're giving me what you would call it from the Asian couple from
Hung and Chi.
Hung and Chi. They're giving me Hung and Chi vibes. Just like, not that they're the same, but just because they're a couple. So they're giving me favorite couple of this season. Just because like that's what Hung and Chi were for me.
I feel like this is going to be another season. Maybe it's just The Amazing Race, but like another season where I'm like, I'll have a favorite, but I want all the teams to win.
Love it all. It was so good. I can't. I have very high expectations.
Yeah. Let's just jump right into
episode 1.
We start off. We have, a little teaser in the beginning with all the teams at their house, and Phil is, giving them a whole spiel and is basically telling them like the race is starting right now, which is normally not how it goes. Normally they're all together, which I thought was
I think it was a
choice.
I think it was a COVID thing.
But COVID hadn't been a thing yet.
I thought it did. They brought it up.
I thought it was 2020.
So this was filmed in 2019?
Or maybe it was filmed in 2021. And then I'm not sure actually. Because I know.
I think because he brings up COVID in the next episode for sure. And he brought it up in the very beginning of this episode.
I believe they started filming.
And then COVID happened, they stopped because they do talk about stopping.
Yeah, and in January 2020 is when they started. So that's why, or like pre-production started. I don't know the exact time, but I know that by leg 3, they had like fully halted and like paused the game. And then they recontinued at another time. So this will be a very interesting season just in terms of like seeing how that goes, of like pause on.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like this is a game where that can work. Whereas like Survivor, Big Brother, you can't really do that without it
disrupting some stuff for real. But with this, it's like every day is new and it's really quick. And then it's like, but they end at the end of the day. They don't do like an overnight thing. So it's like you can stop and pause. The people who are in last are gone. The people that are remaining. Stop it. We know what order they came in. We start them up again in that order. We're good. It's all even. So yeah, crazy though.
Our first leg is going from the United States to England, which is fun.
I love it.
And the first detour, there was the artist den, which you had to paste these different, it was a whole artwork that you had to put together, but they were individual pieces of paper that you had to paste onto.
Well, it was like paper mache on a wall.
Yeah, and there was that option, and then also the 3, you had to find Big Ben, the little Ben, a Bobby, which is a police officer, and then Digi Ben, which was like a DJ in like the subway.
Yeah, it was like a little scavenger hunt kind of.
Yeah.
I think more are happy picking the art one.
Yeah, I feel like the trying to look for everything was a little confusing.
Yeah, people were kind of
especially for Connie and Sam. They passed by it and literally looked at it and were like, and then kept walking. Same thing with Akbar and Sherry. They were literally right there when one of the other teams was literally like talking to them, and like she was just like standing on the corner, completely oblivious. And I was like, she's right there.
It must be so different though when you're actually like filming, because
100%, because I'm like, there's film crew following you all the time, so like you don't know, like
they could be talking to someone random, just talking to them. We don't know.
Yeah. Especially since I don't think a lot of people knew what Bobby was at first.
Yeah, it took them a minute and they're like, is it this guy? I don't know. And the guy's like,
they were like, I don't even know if it's a person. Anyway, most people who did the puzzle ended up doing pretty well, with the exception of Michael and Mo, right?
Yeah.
The police duo, they just kind of pasted everything on the wall, and then they were like, oh, it's a puzzle, and now we have to peel it all off, which a lot of people at first were like just kind of pasting it on and were like, oh wait, it's a puzzle, and then they were able to like do the rest. They never really got it until it was too late.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. They
Um,
stress.
so then Ryan and Dusty, Anthony and Spencer are in the lead. They end up teaming up for some of it, as well as Caro and Ray, and then Kim and Penn, right? The couple. They ended up pairing for a little bit.
Yeah.
To find the artist den. And then Anthony and Spencer and Ryan and Dusty ended up kind of just teaming up to find first Big Ben and then the finish line, kind of ish. They ended up like
yeah, you're right. I think so.
Kind of teaming up with each other. Obviously, I feel like two of the big standout teams at the moment, just in terms of like physicality.
Yeah.
But obviously, as we've seen in the Amazing Race, physicality does not a winner make.
Nope.
So that gets us to the next pit stop. Anthony and Spencer arrive there. This is at the Natural History Museum where Phil is. And he lets us know someone will be eliminated. So I was like, obviously kind of sad because I'm like, you know, I don't want anyone to go home yet, but
I was like, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's so predictable that someone's going to get eliminated right away. And I was like, and then this next round, they're not going to get eliminated. And then they did.
I'm like, they're not going to eliminate two people in the first episode.
Exactly. And I was like, it's not that I wanted them to get eliminated, but I was just like, I was a little like, that was like way too predictable. Like,
it was like the sisters from last season, who I'm forgetting their names. They got saved twice, didn't they?
Yes. Out of the 3 times it happened like the whole season, they got it twice.
Again, I'm not mad at them personally because it's not like they knew they were going to be saved, but it was just like annoying.
It was just like, come on, come on. So,
then let's see what happens. Anthony and Spencer, they're first, and they end up winning a trip to Turks and Caicos. Turks and Caicos is a touchy subject on this channel, isn't it? Watch our drama video.
Has some strawberry daiquiris and Turks and
Dusty and Ryan, and then Raquel and Kayla are in the top 3, and we'll go ahead and show the rest of the lineup here. These are the final positions for the end of leg 1. Unfortunately, that leaves Michael and Mo as the eliminated team for leg 1. So
I liked them, but you know, what are you gonna do? It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, someone has to go home.
But I did like them. It wasn't like I was like, oh, whatever. I was kind of like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, they were giving me like, I think it's just the hype is giving me like The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like Central Intelligence, isn't that the movie where they're together? And they're like cops in that movie too. It was giving that. Anyway, and this is where I thought the first episode ended, but I guess it was the same.
No, but the continuation, like a long premiere. Yeah, I thought it was too, but
so now the second leg is fully in England. And I don't know why I said it like that. I'm like, fully in England.
Because the first half was like in the United States, right? We hadn't started yet. It was like pre-start, and then now this is like we're in the game.
Yeah. So first pit stop, roadblock is the mail train, which I did not know existed.
I didn't know that either, and I've been to England, so
it was kind of cool. You basically had to sort through a bunch of envelopes to look for the clue.
It was really cool, but I just didn't know.
Ryan is the first one to start looking. Raquel is second. And it basically leads them to another location, Leicester Square. I'm not really sure. And this leads us to a bullseye. The bullseye detour.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was weird. They mentioned the fact that they were given beer, but beer wasn't really part of it. It was just like a luxury on the side. Cause that threw me off too. I was like, do they have to like chug beer while they do it or something weird? But they did it, but they brought up the beer. So it like threw me off a little bit.
Yeah. It was either you have to hit both players have to hit a bullseye.
Yeah.
In the same round of darts, or teams can decorate 2 different cakes to match country flags, which I think the cake one would be easier.
No? You think it'd be easier?
I feel like the cake one might be easier.
Felt like it would have until they didn't realize like not all the flags are in the union. So it's not just like pick a cake and make it really good. Good luck. You
That's
had to use
true. I don't know what countries are in the union, and neither did these people.
I mean, I knew similar as that one girl said, like the whatchamacallit. I remember when they had that all go down, I just didn't know. I didn't watch the news enough, like to know that like they really weren't part of the union anymore. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know much, but I knew a little bit actually. But I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
Ryan and Dusty are, I believe, the first team to hit 2 bullseyes. And then Connie and Sam are able to do it together, as well as Arun and Natalia.
Yeah, but they took a little while.
Yeah, they were definitely last. And then the teams that were doing the cakes.
That was kind of a shit show because the first group picked one of the wrong cakes. The second group was good and quick. And then there was like another group or 2 that picked the wrong cake or didn't have a good, clean cake.
Raquel and Kayla and Anthony and Spencer both messing up their second one.
And
then it's the last 2 teams racing to avoid elimination, which are Lulu and Lala and Taylor and Isaiah.
And they are literally neck and neck. And this is where like the editing kind of pissed me off too. It was giving me like the challenge vibes where I was like, why are you going to pretend like they're so behind? And it wasn't that close. Like,
I'm like, in Amazing Race editing, it could be 30 minutes. I mean, to be honest, in Amazing Race, 30 minutes could be pretty close. You never know. But it's the way it's edited is like 30 seconds away.
And it was like, made you think that the guys were going to be last. And they weren't. The twins were last. Yeah. But I don't know. Legs, so they're still there, which I have nothing against them. I just knew it was. I knew it was even before he said, "Let's pour the tea," or they were talking to them about how they felt. I was like, they're like you were saying, like they're not going to eliminate 2 teams on the premiere episode. Like they're just not. I know they're not. Like
I wonder if they should have waited till this leg to eliminate someone instead of the first one.
They should have done the opposite. I would have preferred the opposite, but I think they probably felt like that's just like not something they really do. And then like, I don't know, maybe they just thought like that would be true predictable. So we have to do the other way.
Yeah, I think it would have been a little cheap if like, oh, this is the first leg, no one's getting eliminated. Where I'm like, okay. I still feel kind of weird about them not getting eliminated within the same episode. This kind of felt like a mega leg episode, didn't it?
Yeah,
from last season.
Like, yeah. Not like 2 leg. Yeah, I don't know. I liked it though. I think I just have really high expectations, and I'm not gonna lie. I was cooking dinner for like the first half with some yelling kids, so I didn't get to like super just sit there and enjoy and watch it. So I think after next week, I'm definitely gonna be able to like zone in, watch some shit. Now we've gotten some introductions to people, like I'll be able to give more of my feedback and a feel of how I'm feeling. But I'm really
like feeling more about the teams. Obviously, my first impressions of the season 32 cast, I was like, oh, okay. And then as it went on, I was like, no, I like this team a lot. This team's kind of playing. I don't know how I feel about this team.
One was like too bad.
Yeah, and just real quick, we'll put in the final positions at the end of leg 2. This is the standings right now. The first team being Ryan and Dusty, Connie and Sam coming in second, and then Arun and Natalia in third, and everyone else falling into place with Lulu and Lala in last. Not eliminated, just last.
Yeah. So that's where we leave off, is them being like that, and then Sia in Ireland. So they're moving on to Ireland.
Scotland.
Good thing I'm Scottish and Irish.
I am excited though. Like the teasers for Amazing Race are always very exciting to me. I feel like they tease some drama, even though sometimes it's kind of like not really like there'll be like a fighting like couple where I'm like, it was just like a one comment thing, not like a whole fight,
like legit breakdown. But I'm just so excited. I mean, regardless of, I would say this episode wasn't like my most favorite episode ever, but it has
a good introduction.
And it was a good introduction. So I'm like super, super excited. They like talked about Celebrity Big Brother with still no inkling of who the hell's gonna be on it.
And what we were talking about before is we're pretty sure they're gonna wait until premiere night.
I just don't know how nothing's been leaked. Like, how has nothing been leaked?
I'm surprised too, because I feel like
it's too close, unless they're literally filming right now and stuff's going to get leaked like the week before because they're finally home.
But there's live feeds, so I know that it's not going to be able to be before. It has to be live, which is what's confusing me. I'm like, I wonder if they're not in like...
Maybe they're in quarantine right now.
That's true. They could be like... Because it does start in the beginning of February, so they still have like a little less than a month. And in terms of like COVID and stuff, I feel like right around this time is when they would start that process.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I don't think it would be too early because it's also the celebrity edition. And I know that they have like time constraints. So I'm not really sure how this will work. This is also...
I have no idea of like anybody, technically.
The only person that we know probably is going to be on is Johnny Bananas, only because of his tweet. But even then, like, that's not a set in stone thing. It was literally just eyeballs.
Besides just that, and that's the only thing that I'm like, well, no one else has said that. So, I mean, he's a troll though, so I don't know. But I also feel like he wasn't on All Stars. He wasn't on this last season. Okay, he could take a break, but I feel like he would want to film something. So I know that they're supposed to be bringing back the Surreal World, which is like the real world with celebrities. It's like the celebrity edition. It's shorter, and they used to do it. Either he's filming something like that, or he's filming Big Brother. Like he's going to be on Big Brother. Like there's some reason why he is not in some kind of production for something right now. In my mind, I don't think he's fully retired. He would say that. So something, and I'm guessing it's the tweet. So I don't know.
I feel like it would be kind of lame if he wasn't.
I would be so disappointed.
At least considered. But I do hope they continue the trend of putting in a political figure in the house, because causes some drama. Omarosa season 1, Anthony Scaramucci season 2.
Yep.
I hope someone controversial.
Okay, Donald, I'm looking at you.
I honestly, do you think they might get like someone from his family?
I wouldn't even be surprised if it was like his oldest son or whatever.
What if like Meghan McCain went in?
I'm done. I just can't do it anymore, Scotty.
Meghan McCain, Johnny Bananas in the same house. I'm so excited. Anyway, that was this episode of Amazing Race, the premiere.
In the meantime, if we know anything about Celebrity Big Brother, we'll let you know about anything else. But you're gonna need to like, comment, share, subscribe so you see that and hang out with us. Thank you.